Got a good question from Maverick. That's a cool name. I want a cool name like Maverick. He says that he has a close friend. He's a 2-stripe blue belt. He has a close friend who's a 2-stripe white belt. And he said his friend wants to get into leg locks. And he's wondering what my opinion is, one, on leg locks in general. Do I use them? And also what I think about leg locks for white belts. So first off, brother, thanks for the question. And sort of my basic take on leg locks. I mean, at this point, this day and age, if you think leg locks are not a viable weapon to include into your overall teaching and training and, jiu-jitsu arsenal, then you're living back in the Stone Age, right? Just like I was back in 2004 when I first started. Like, I was training under coaches that had the old school mentality of like, no leg locks. Leg locks they're cheating. We still learned them so that we could defend against them, but it was only so we could defend against them. We weren't really supposed to go for them. And if you went for them, you're a cheater, right? Except for knee bars. You could do knee bars and like straight ankle locks, but if you did a heel hook, you were just cheating. And as I've gotten older, obviously, I've gotten rid of that. In fact, like every Friday, we have a leg lock class. We call it Foot Locker Fridays. And so we do leg locks every Friday. Now, to get to your question, which I think was the most pressing one for your situation, what do I think about leg locks with white belts? I think it's very important to teach leg locks to white belts because, again, if you're not showing your students something like that, like leg locks, which is it's a big chunk of the game. I mean, it's half our bodies, right? You need to know what's going on there. And because they're becoming so popular, the biggest thing I teach them is because of safety reasons, right? I don't want one of my white belts to get caught in a straight ankle lock and then try to twist out of it or, get caught in a heel hook and go the wrong way. I want them to know exactly how to react with those weapons and know how to do so comfortably. I know that for me personally as a coach, I saw more injuries related to leg locks when I didn't teach white belts heel hooks, straight ankles, knee bars, things like that. I didn't teach them those leg locks. But since we've covered them and I've allowed them to play around with them and get used to using them, I've seen a decrease in injuries from leg locks because people kind of know what's going on, right? Like people know, oh, I'm caught, or, because again, with a heel hook, a lot of times there's not a lot of pain associated. It's like you're caught, right? And so you have to know, oh, he's got me, or I can still fight from this. And likewise, the person applying it, right? A lot of times what I've noticed as a coach's standpoint is that when we first started doing leg locks, people were very panicky, right? And you can think about it just like upper body submissions. When you first start learning upper body submissions, it's not a slow controlled thing, right? Think about any white belt learning how to do like an arm bar or something. It's just like crazy, spazzy sort of melee for arms. Motorcycles are obnoxious, and goes for the the arm bar. And likewise, when you first start showing people leg locks, it's this big crazy mad dash to get the heel or the ankle and then just try to crank really quick. And so it's important to show people how to use their body to control the position first, just like the upper body, and then you can get the submission safely and effectively. And likewise, to let people know how to deal with those situations rather than being completely in the dark and then get themselves hurt. So Maverick, answer your question, brother. Hope that helps. White belts should learn leg locks. Simple as that. All right. Talk to you guys next time. On and on and on and on and on and on and on.